Welcome to Behind the Horn. I'm your host, Morgan Myers, and on today's episode, we're digging into the story of Danielle, a girlie that has been swimming against the current for quite a while and has very recently published a book telling her story of resilience and transformation. Welcome to the podcast, Danielle. Thank you for your honesty and willingness to share your story.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah. So let's kind of just start from the beginning.
Okay.
So I have read, you have a book here, River Shark. We're going to be talking a lot about that today.
Yep.
I have started reading it. I've gotten in past the first part, just past the first reflection. And I'm very impressed. I've told you, I'm very impressed with you. So in the start of the book, the part that I've read, you talk about losing your father at 12 years old. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that experience?
That was what I refer to as the moment that changed everything. Losing my dad at 12 was very traumatic for many reasons. First of all, it was very sudden. He had a massive heart attack the day before Father's Day, actually. I didn't see him being sick, or there was no diagnosis or anything like that. He was just there one day and gone the next. So at 12 years old and being a daddy's girl and spending the majority of our time with him at that moment in our lives, I still have PTSD, but it was just very traumatic to lose him that way. So suddenly, not get to say goodbye, not expect it. He was Superman. He was a bodybuilder. Right. He was my daddy. We did power hugs, and for it to just be gone and
right.
So unpredictable, so traumatic.
And that's kind of the event that started everything. There, you mentioned in your book there was before your dad died and there was after your dad died.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they were not together. You had split parents. Mm-hmm. And so you were with your mom when it happened.
Yep.
And I think that kind of is important too, because it's like you were not there and it just kind of it unfolded as you were trying to get there.
Yeah. This is before cell phones. This was 1999. We were at my auntie's house fishing with my mom, and we were going to go to Dad's the next day, Father's Day. And I remember my mom coming out of my auntie's house. She had a river in her backyard. I guess that really ties together more than I thought. But yeah, she had a river in her backyard. We were fishing out there, and I remember my mom at the top of the hill, we have to go. And my initial thought was really being annoyed because my mom was a nurse and she got called into work all the time. So I just thought our vacation was being cut short, and I was kind of bratty about it, to be perfectly honest.
Right, yeah.
But then she said our dad was in the hospital, and I remember just getting really upset right away. We went into my auntie's house. My auntie from Mauston, her name was Ethel Hess. Her and her husband had built that original hospital in Mauston, so she was a nurse for a long time. And I remember her telling me to, don't cry until there's something to cry about, which sounds harsh, but really she's been a nurse. She's seen all the traumatic. Like, when you stay calm, you can get through things a little easier. But at 12, I didn't hear that. But yeah, heading home, it's usually Mauston, I believe, was like an hour from our house. Never really felt like a long trip before, but that time,
I'm sure
we stopped at gas stations and did the payphone, before all our cell phones. And every time my mom came out, it was a little more solemn, a little quieter. And she was also a nurse, so for her to be scared made me scared.
Right, yeah. And it's one of the things I really liked about how you told that beginning part of the story was how descriptive you were. Like, I'm not a book reader, I've told you that, mm-hmm. But found myself just in it. You were describing it so well that I could picture it perfectly in my head.
Yeah.
And when I usually have a hard time doing that in books.
Yeah.
So I felt, and how you described your dad, the smell, the way he looked, his hair, his mustache. Yep. Yeah. So I could feel what you were feeling on that car ride.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that's got to be That's got to be terrible.
That was the moment that changed everything. And I think it's very interesting, like when I was retelling it and reliving it, how vivid most of that is, but there's also like gaps where I'm just like, I don't remember if it was day or night when we got home.
Right.
I mean, it's just very interesting how the human
Yeah,
brain
it
takes
is.
that all in.
What it chooses to block and what it doesn't. Yeah. So you moved constantly. You talked about that. Schools, towns, even states.
Yep.
What does that do to a kid who's trying to find stability after they've lost their dad?
Well, I feel like for me, it was, it made me shrink. The first move was not even a year after my dad died. Like you said, I came from a split home. I don't remember my parents being together, but I do remember having a very loving home with my father. And I remember Beloit and Janesville, that area, my grandparents there, aunts and uncles, grew up there. The town I knew so well, and friends that I've had since I was little. And within a year, my mom had moved us to a town farther away. It was Sauk City, Wisconsin. And it was, everything changed. Like I said, like when they had the custody and my mom would move a lot, she was very unstable, I came to learn.
Yeah.
When they're co-parenting, that's easier to hide from a child than when you're with them 100% of the time all of a sudden. So I was quickly learning that my mom had troubles of her own, that as a child I totally oblivious. My dad really protected us from that. And so moving away with having been through that in less than a year, it was very hard. I know the first move, I remember trying again. I went out for volleyball, softball. I was good at those things. Mm-hmm. I was an outgoing child. I was so happy. I did sports. I would go for things. And I tried that again on the first move. And then the second move, got a little more, what's the point?
Right.
And the third move, I just really started shrinking is the best word I can think
and
of.
You were at such a hard age for that. I mean, going from being a girl to a woman and having to try to fit in, and we all know what it's like being a teenage girl. Mm-hmm. And then to go through that and having to uproot and replace and uproot and replace.
Yep, always the new kid, which gives you attention. Sometimes, I turned to food, when we started moving a lot and I gained weight. I thought food was the stability, the one thing I had control of. I didn't get to choose who my mom dated. I didn't get to choose the town we lived in. I didn't get to choose my school, my bedroom. Like, I didn't get any choices or any say, it felt like at that time. But I could pick what I was going to eat. And I started gaining weight. My sister stayed really small. And being the new kid,
that's hard.
Makes you... Yeah, and constantly compare. We're very close in age, so.
Right. Yeah, that is one thing. I don't have a sister, and I think I'm thankful for that because I think that competitive nature, it would be difficult for me.
Well, but on the other end of it too, from everything we went through, me and my sister are very close. Yes, we fought, but I don't think I would have survived a lot of this without her. We have a traumatic bond and a sibling bond, but I'm thankful I had her. Otherwise, I would have been completely alone.
Right. Yes. So you've talked about feeling overshadowed or kind of unseen while you were growing up. Yeah. Can you share a little bit about what that dynamic looked like for you?
Sure. So I was kind of touching on it a second ago when I started, gaining weight, and my sister stayed small. Like, she got the attention of boys, and at 13, 14, you are really hoping to get a little bit of that yourself.
Yep, for sure. 100%.
Yep. So she was the pretty one. She was the thin one. My mom, whether she would admit it or not, she valued that about my sister. I think she kind of lived through her. My mom would buy her Abercrombie and Fitch and get her belly button pierced and let her go tanning. And, I was at home. My nickname was Danarella. Just kind of tells you the dynamic there a little bit. So that really killed my self-confidence, so shrinking there. And not only that, but my mom also had her own trauma and issues that she was overcoming, and I can see the pattern now, but there's constantly a new boyfriend, men in and out, one night
Seeking that
stands.
validation and that love. Yeah.
She needed a man in her life, I think, to feel value. And so she would put her relationships ahead of my sister and I all the time. So, men, career, Kaylin, I just always felt last.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see how you would feel that way.
Yeah.
So obviously I can pretty much answer this question. What were you craving most as a teenager that you felt you weren't getting? Was that love and attention?
I just wanted to be seen and heard and considered.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way. I felt we were constantly running from my mom's problems, constantly moving. I felt like anything I was telling her I needed just didn't matter. I remember her sitting us down one time. She had a boyfriend asking me, my sister, how we felt about him moving in. We told her we weren't comfortable with it, and he did anyway. So it just felt like,
Right.
well, what was the point of all
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I just wanted to be seen. I wanted my mom to love me.
Right.
I wanted her to see that, I'm hurting, and she wasn't the only one hurting, and her choices hurt us. And I don't think she wanted to see that for herself. She didn't want to be the one that was causing pain. As a nurse and everything, she did her best with, I think, what she knew from her life and her own mental health problems, but I really wanted someone to save me.
Yeah. I know my personal experience growing up, was a kid that sought attention. And I remember being told that or overhearing that from adults is, oh, she's fine. She just wants attention. She's fine. And I remember that kind of feeling like, I just want you to acknowledge me and listen to me. So I hear where you're coming from with that.
And then the more you ask for it, or the more you act out, or the more sometimes it just feels like it's making you look crazy,
I know.
And
Yeah.
it's a cycle. It can be.
Yes. Okay, so let's move on to coping. I'm guessing this part is part that I have not gotten to in the book yet, so I'm excited.
College.
So coping and self-destruction, kind of talking about swimming in that deep water, so to speak. When do you feel like things started shifting from coping with, the loss of your dad and the lack of that love and attention that you were wanting? When do you think that it shifted from coping to numbing?
I think I went from survival mode to numbing when my mom was diagnosed with her brain tumor.
Okay.
I was 18. I had just gone off to college. I was so excited. I was going to be on my own. I was getting out of there. I was, life was going to get better. And she was diagnosed with her brain tumor. They gave her 2 to 4 years to live. She ended up living longer, but in a wheelchair in a nursing home, and quality of life was very poor for a long time. But that diagnosis not only led to me just not even knowing what to do anymore, but also my student loans and my dorms. Without her income,
Right.
I had to move out. I was losing my dorm. My friend Dana came to my assistance then, but I was just felt totally alone all of a sudden again.
Right.
And couldn't even go to my dorm. I couldn't.
Right. Well, you even talked about when your dad died, how you had that feeling of fear of losing your mom.
Yep.
So that's just heartbreaking that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know when my dad initially died, I was very clingy to my mother because he was fine yesterday and then
Right.
he's gone. Could this happen again? Why couldn't it?
Right.
So yeah, the numbing came after my mom's diagnosis and having to leave the dorm. I moved in with a friend. I'm in college, and the numbing came from drinking. We started going to parties. I was finally fitting in. It felt like the key. I found the answer to all of my problems. But it didn't just stay the fun college party. It turned into something I totally lost control of.
Yeah. So it started to escalate into more of that. Dig in a little bit on that. Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, so I mean, in the beginning, the first time I got drunk was at a barn party. I mean, we live in Minnesota, even though I was in the cities. We went up to this barn party and we were underage, so we had to put our keg beer in a pop can and, we all pitched tents, and I felt like I fit in. Like I had crippling self-doubt. My friend Dana really helped me come out of that shell, and I really attributed drinking to that too. I was making jokes and people laughed. I was being outgoing and people were liking me, and I thought because of alcohol, that is why I'm making friends. But really,
Right.
Later in life, I realized that was always in me.
Right.
I just was scared.
Yeah.
So
So it started as the barn parties, and was that like a weekend thing, like after classes, or what did that?
Yeah, so I mean, my friend that I moved in with lived in the cities. I went to college up in the cities, so she knew a bunch of people. We were underage, but it didn't matter. She had a bunch of friends that were a little older. There was always a party. She knew where they were. So I just tagged along with
Yeah.
her everywhere. I never turned down an opportunity to go. So I would say the beginning of probably weekends, but it turned into
Nightly.
every day.
Yeah.
By the end of college, I know we had a paper out at one point too. We would stay up, do the 3 a.m. paper route, go to school, and then party again with, there was always someone that wanted to hang out back then,
Right.
And it seemed normal because when you're in that group and everyone's doing the same thing, it's normal. And I always joked, drink Wisconsinly. I'm from Wisconsin, and, drinking was always around. It's kind of something people celebrate in a way. Baby showers. I was watching old Christmas videos. My uncle's drinking beers at Christmas Eve as we're opening presents. They're smoking cigarettes in the house in the
Yeah.
80s. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I didn't think anything of it because it was so normalized.
Ingrained in everything. Yeah. I know. I feel like that is a very common Midwestern specifically thing.
Yep.
Because I have childhood memories of all of my family members mixing. I mean, I was like 8 years old mixing cocktails for them.
Oh my gosh, yeah, my mom had me do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's crazy to think now.
Like, you want to, orange juice and vodka?
Right.
I know it's about quarter, and then stir.
Yep. And then they'd give me they'd
Play
say,
bartender.
right. Morg, mix it a little stronger next time. Morg, not so strong next time.
Yeah, and even like the Welch's juice in the bottles, that was kids' wine,
Yeah.
And
I
in
know.
Wisconsin, too, I remember my mom taking us to the bar with her when we were like 14, 15. You could have a drink with your parent in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
under 21 if your parent's there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, it was just so whatever.
It's so accessible. It
It
is.
actually made me feel included,
Yeah.
which was kind of a dangerous thing for someone that was so within herself, like someone that felt so alone.
Right.
To have all of a sudden that instant shift and connecting it with drinking, I hung on to that feeling for a long time.
It is really hard. Like, Ryan and I don't drink. We've never had any addiction issues, but we just choose not to. We just don't enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
just never been our thing. But it is a conversation thing that so many people use. Like, you'll say, "Oh, how was your weekend?" "Oh, I got so drunk." And it's like, I can't relate. Sorry. Like,
Yeah.
it is hard to not drink in a society where it's so every day.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad to hear that because I don't drink either. So
Yeah.
if you ever want to do something
Yeah,
sober,
there we go. Mocktails, girl.
like a podcast.
Yeah. What role did alcohol and experimenting with drugs play for you at that time? We talked about alcohol here. So that escalated. Started as something innocent, as a normal college party thing.
Yeah.
Made you feel like, wow, I fit in. This helps me be normal. So it just escalated into more.
Yep.
Where did the drugs come in with that?
I remember the first time I saw drugs outside of marijuana, that college, again, lots of people had access to it. I would learn to smoke with my best friend, roommate at the time, her friends, just seemed totally mild. You know, drinking and weed. It's college. Who cares?
Right.
But we went to this house party in, I think it was St. Paul, that I remember going, we were drinking, we got there, and our friend invited us to this house party, and I remember us getting like led to a back room, and I'm just like, cool, I'm going in, you know, shots. I don't know.
Right.
With the cool people,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is exclusive. This
Right.
is something you to do. And then they like shut the door, and it was like straight out of a movie. There was this really pretty girl. There was a plate, and there were lines on it, and a rolled up dollar bill, and they were going around the circle. So when it was my turn, I just felt like I had to.
Yeah. You do in that situation.
Yeah. And so it was cocaine. But I was so glad Dana was first. I felt like I was learning by watching everyone. I didn't want to ask. I'm like, okay, don't breathe out. I knew that from like the movies. And I, you know, snorted it when it came. I knew to like plug one nostril, just like the movies and what everyone else was doing. And the scariest part, I think, was that I really liked how it made me feel.
Yeah. What was that like? Because I've never done it before. But
Yeah.
What was that experience like? What?
You're just like really alert and talkative and happy and like, you know, taking things on, and I felt really productive and like making new friends, and I don't know, it was just really like hyper.
Like a
in
hyper
way.
high?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But then you're in a group of people that are just like that, so you're
Yeah.
like feeding off each other, and you're like, cool, like, you know.
Right.
I don't know.
What did you have immediate regret? Like, were you like, oh shit, this was bad. Maybe I
No,
shouldn't
I
have done
felt
this.
like
Or that
I
was nowhere near.
No, I felt included. I felt like cool or accepted or part of this little group outside the party, even like
Right.
more.
Like I was cool enough that they included me in this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
they trusted me enough.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that
Yep,
feeling.
especially I was 18.
Right.
I really wanted to fit
that's
in.
crazy.
I really wanted to fit in. And being in a house party in St. Paul too, I knew to not make a scene either.
Right.
I got into some of these situations.
Because that's scary too. Like that
Environment.
runs through your head. If I walk away right now, what if they get mad that I might tell somebody and then turns into a thing?
Yeah, or if I want to leave, I didn't drive there.
Right.
I'm not walking down the street at midnight in St. Paul as a 18-year-old girl by myself either. So,
Right.
I mean, I just felt like I had to do it, and then I felt included. I felt good about it
Yeah.
at the time, which is wild to think about now.
Yeah. But I mean, I can see where, as an 18-year-old
And that's
girl.
why I wanted to be honest about it. I know it's taboo. I know hard drugs can be a thing we don't want people to know about, but for me, being honest about it and what led up to me thinking that made me cool is really important.
Yes.
So that I could have gotten that self-respect, that self-confidence before that moment hit. Maybe things would have been different, but because of the state I was in, the life I had lived, the trauma I had been through, the neglect,
Yep.
to me, it was like the opposite reaction of what you would want your child or anyone to have if they're in that situation. I was gung-ho. I'm like, I'm included.
Yes.
This is my new family. My mom is in a nursing home. My dad is gone. My family's been in Beloit 5 hours away for a long time. Like, this is
What have I got to lose?
where I live. Like, this
Yeah.
is my people. I have to
Right.
fit in.
Right. Yeah. And I love that you're being honest about it because, like you said, in our area, there's not a lot of open talk about that kind of stuff. And, like, for someone like me, like I said, I've never been in a situation where I've been exposed to hard drugs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that curiosity is always there in my head. So, to be able to talk to somebody and for you to be so open about it, I
Yeah.
respect that.
Thank you. And it took a long time to be comfortable enough with those mistakes. I felt a lot of shame and
Yeah.
guilt and embarrassment for a long time, but honestly, still, like, writing this book, relearning, like, the why, what got me there, really gave me compassion for my younger self.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of her. She needed help.
Yeah.
And honestly, writing it, the way everything kind of happened and how I felt then compared to where I'm at now, and what if I found my self-help books earlier? Or what if?
Yeah, yeah. And I think, too, being honest about it might help other people come forward with it too.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I'm struggling with this. It's okay to talk about it.
And I don't want someone to listen to me and say, oh, I really liked cocaine. Like, you should go. No, like, it is a dangerous path, and liking
Yes.
it is actually a red flag.
Yeah.
I learned I have an addictive personality. I learned that growing up, my mom was alcoholic. I remember my mom telling me when I was 15 if she could be addicted to cocaine, she would, because it made her skinny. She had very big body image, body image issues, and that's another reason she really
Right.
loved doting on my size 0 sister. I mean, it's just very complex. It's very complex.
Yeah. And that the shame thing goes back. We were talking before we started recording a little bit about that feeling of always being perceived by everyone and always wanting to. I had to change my shirt. I'm going to be honest.
I'm so glad you're talking
exposing
about
all.
it. Yes.
Yes. I changed my shirt because I had workout class this morning, and I wore the same shirt that I wore to workout class all day today. And I told her, I'm worried someone's going to see me and judge me for wearing the same shirt that I wore to workout class, when actually nobody's probably going
Yeah,
to.
we make these stories in our head that keep us scared or small or stuck. And honestly, every time I've opened up and gotten vulnerable, I've gotten more positive feedback than negative, which
Yes.
should really, I think, tell people that we're all just looking for connection.
Yes, 100%. And in today's world, we freaking need connection. So
Yeah. Unity.
you mentioned telling yourself a victim story. What was
Yeah.
that story, and how did it keep you stuck?
Victim mindset is really bad. This is, I think, the key takeaway I took even writing this book. Like, I was doing a lot of self-help therapy. I went through an outpatient years ago. I mean, I've been doing work for a while, but writing this and even clicking that I had this victim mindset, it kept me sick forever because nothing was my fault. It was, oh, I'm drinking because I'm from Wisconsin. Drink responsibly. It's so funny. I have poor financial decisions because my mom was bad with money and I was on my own at 19 and I wasn't prepared. So that's why I have credit card debt, is because, life was unfair to me. I got a shitty hand. I'm depressed because my dad died and my mom, all these circumstances.
Right.
But I got a DUI. I don't remember how old I was, but Lincoln was born, my son. He probably like 4 years old. At any rate, so I got that DUI, and before that, that victim mindset would be, poor me, not my fault, drink the problems
It's the
away.
cop's fault.
Yep. And then when I got that DUI, I'm like, my mom being sick didn't do this. I chose to drive.
Right.
I chose to go to the bar. I chose to go out and spend $100 on drinks instead of the electric bill. Like, those are all me. But because I was so deep in my victim mindset, I made excuses, and therefore I had no responsibility and ultimately no control over my life if you really start diving into it.
Right.
Feeling victimized and taking no responsibility might feel easy in the moment, but you're really digging yourself into a hole that's a hell of a lot harder to get out of if you could just start taking some accountability for your choices. You
Right.
make choices all day long, and so just owning them and connecting the dots with, this path is better than this one. Just keep going that way. One more choice that way, in that direction. So
Yeah. And that's something too that I commented on, was how respectable it was that the way you wrote the book, you aren't blaming anyone. And to me, that is, I fall into that all the time.
yeah.
I mean, I catch myself doing it all the time. It's their fault. If they wouldn't have done that, then this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Like, even with my girls, well, why did you leave the marker out on my table? Now it's all dried out.
Yeah.
Like,
Or why did I put it in their reach? Or,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's our part too? And people are people. We're going to make
Yeah.
mistakes.
or the dog threw up in the living room. That's a big one. Who left that out so the dog ate it and now they threw up in the living room? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nobody's fault. The dog
Yeah.
ate it. They were
It's the
gonna
dog's fault, actually.
Yeah. I mean, If you want to blame
ownership,
dog.
dog.
But I'm just saying, you fall into that. Like, who did that? Who?
Yep.
You know, and you don't need to.
Blame, 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 blame.
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it doesn't help anything, and everyone just ends up on edge. And
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's-
So we talk about rock bottom. That's the DUI you were mentioning.
The second DUI.
Oh,
I actually
okay.
got 2 within a few months of each other. 'Cause
Okay.
Here's that victim mindset. So that first one, it was winter. It was a little icy, and I flipped my car.
Oh wow.
So in my mind, victim, well, it's icy. That could have happened if I was not drinking too.
Right.
Another piece that led me to drive home again one night after a few months of rolling a car. Like, seriously, you don't learn from that. But not hearing from the state or anything. I didn't get any papers. And like, my addiction said, you fell through the cracks. Like, they're not even coming for you. It's been months. Clearly you're fine.
Right.
You know, it's so crazy. I can like picture my brain and like, you know, the little fillers in there and like that addiction mind just like seeping in there with some of these thoughts and like really getting a hold of you. I'm like, yeah, I haven't heard anything. Maybe I am okay. Like, maybe that's fine. And then between that time too, my son was put on the autism spectrum. And at that time, he would go to my ex's mom's every other weekend. And I would really pride myself that I didn't drink when he was around, so I'm a good mom. And then when he was gone, I was full force, worse than I would do if I would.
Right. So were you still
Continuously
doing like the hard drugs and stuff at this point too?
No, that
No.
was when I had Lincoln. Drinking stuck around, everything else. I'm really lucky that that wasn't my drug of choice, but drinking always was. I never tried.
So that was
anything.
more, the drugs were more of a party thing for you.
Yeah.
Than an addiction, but the drinking was the thing that
The
was.
drinking is an addiction. I didn't ever try another drug unless I was drunk. I didn't do some of these things unless I was drunk. That was like the key. That
Yeah.
was my drug of choice. That was my best friend.
Yeah.
I was in love with drinking. I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
where I
think-
was going with that, but
I think so. We were talking about the DUIs. So you
Yeah.
had the first one, and then you were like, "Oh, they're not even coming for me."
Yep.
So
And then Lincoln was put on the autism spectrum, and I like grieved that.
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't our life hard enough? Victim again.
Right.
Like, now he's going to be different. I don't want him to get made fun of. I'm a bad mom. I'm going to go drink this away. But the second DUI literally just got pulled over. And when I saw the lights, I knew. I'm like, all right. I remember the first like feeling I got when I saw the lights, that I felt my dad's presence. I felt like because he was a tough guy, bodybuilder. I'm like, I think he's telling me I need a little tough love right now because I am not learning my lesson.
Right.
I knew I wasn't going to have a license
Yeah.
at that point. I knew I was going to jail that night, and I did. I bawled my face off. Me in jail, like, I'd never been in a fight. I'm very, like, nervous all the time.
Yep,
And
yep.
going there, like, yes, you can have my pudding. Like,
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
terrible. And going in front of a judge the next morning and seeing my ex and his mom there, because I was really grateful to have those guys in my life. My ex's parents are amazing people. They're the ones that came and bailed me out and everything. And I was like,
Right.
and to think that, a week before I thought I was such a better mom
Right.
because I didn't drink in front of my son, but now I'm in a freaking handcuffs in front of a judge. I'm like, this cannot continue. This is not good. These are all my choices. I did that. I need to change it. And
So the one night you spent in jail.
yep. And then I had part of my sentence was to spend a weekend like later down the
Okay.
road.
So how was that? You said you felt very out of
night
place,
of, I
obviously.
was
But what, like the
literally-
beds,
Yeah.
like
So
toilet? I mean,
the drunk night was awful. I could cry. I felt so ashamed, so guilty, so dehumanized, so awful about myself. I just felt like such a piece of shit.
yeah.
That I was put on suicide watch. I told them I wanted to die. I didn't want to go on anymore. I'm like, everyone's going to be I'm just such a problem. My sister always has to bail me out. Margaret has to get me another car. You know, she had just gotten me a car. I'd rolled it. Like, all these people had been putting up with me, and I couldn't get it together. And I'm just like, that night was really awful. I cried all day and tried to sleep through it all so that I didn't have to see where I was. Then you go in front of a judge, and, you know, I got to go with Margaret. And then the weekend experience, I was really scared because I'm a very timid person. I was also a smoker at the time, like the cigarettes, and I knew I wouldn't have them for a weekend. And I was like a pack a day type of girl.
Which is a real fear. I mean,
yeah. Like, how much money are you going to put on my commissary so I can buy things? And so I read a lot, and I tried to sleep a lot, but the beds, literally this thin of a mattress, hard.
So was it like because I've only seen like on documentaries and stuff, is it like a jail cell with bars, or is it like one of the rooms with the locking door kind of thing?
Room with the door. It was like the work release weekend one that was different than the night I spent in jail. The one I spent in jail, I had one other girl with me, and she was a young girl too, and had like weed or something on her, and we both like cried together. So I actually made a friend.
Yeah.
Her name was Madeline. Oh. And we were both like, oh, baby, what are we doing here? Like, I'm so scared. And like,
are you still in touch with her, or did you stay in contact?
We're Facebook friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
My
there you go.
Friends. And then the weekend, I remember being very nervous, but then coming out too, like, I did meet some really good people. I went to outpatient. Some of those people were in that outpatient program, and you learn their trauma, their reasons why. Just like, how can I judge them when I'm literally in the same place right now? And I know I'm not a bad person. I'm just a hurt person.
Right. Yeah. And it takes one thing to put you there. I mean,
I'm very grateful for my DUI. I'm grateful I had Intoxilock too, the breathalyzer, because that forced me.
Yeah.
As someone with an addiction that could have like easily talked myself into drinking, that's like, no. It was very, do this, more time or years or bigger consequences.
Yep.
So in the end, I'm actually very grateful for the DUI. I'm grateful that I really did feel my dad's presence on that second one. Like, all right, enough's enough, tough love, you got to face it.
And I do think I believe that you can feel when there are spirits or people around you that are not around anymore. Like I'm a strong believer in that for sure.
He's like, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure he would have had some witty comment to make, right? He was kind of a jokester.
Shake me. Why won't you learn?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Okay. So we talked about what was going through your mind. You had to face your action. That was when you said you had to face your actions.
Yep.
So then so that you get this second DUI, what shifted in you emotionally and mentally? You said you felt your dad. Was it just like a click after that, after you got released, or what?
No, I lost like everything. It was my rock bottom. People talk about that in addiction and things like that. I couldn't afford my apartment anymore. I didn't have a car. I moved in with my ex's parents, so me and Lincoln shared a room, and across the hallway was my ex-boyfriend, Lincoln's father, and his girlfriend is terribly uncomfortable. It was very humbling of the circumstances, and I had to rely on him to give me rides to work every day for a year.
Girl.
I wanted out of that, and that was all my choices. I had to face that every day. And then when I did get my Intoxilock car, I had to wait for tax season, because getting your license reinstated is like $800, plus getting units installed and all these fees and things like that.
So you were thankful for the system and their processes because they contributed to your sobriety.
I wouldn't have learned any other way. I really think I needed that structure.
Yeah.
I mean, I never had structure in my life before.
Yeah.
It was very clear, black and white, drink, problem, this, in trouble. And I didn't have any wiggle room for those voices to be like, oh, I think I found a loophole, or it's okay tonight. It was like, no, it was very clear.
Yeah. Healing, sobriety, and transformation. So learning how to swim again, so to speak. I like the little tie-ins.
Yep.
So learning how to swim again. You have been sober for
over 4 years. I
Over
I
4
don't remember
years.
the last time and even it was like a New Year's Eve I'd have a drink, but now
Okay.
like completely nothing. Over 4 years. My daughter's gonna be 4, pregnancy before that.
Okay. Do you feel tempted to anymore?
No. You know, what's crazy is I actually think I've developed like an adverse reaction. If I think about a drink, it smells bad to me now. If I think about like vodka or something, I have like an instant hangover headache. Like I just put my body in like the bad part of it instead of romanticizing it like I used to.
Right.
It's very interesting how that came to be that way. I have no desire.
Right.
It does not interest me at all. I don't want to be around it. I don't like the smell. It's very, I'm grateful.
Yeah. So for over 4 years,
Yeah.
and what has staying sober for over 4 years, what has that given to you that you did not have before?
My whole life, before sobriety, I had a little apartment with my son after I moved out of, the ex's parents' house from the hallway bedroom.
Yeah. How long was that? How long were you there?
About a year.
Okay.
A long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Year and a half. But I'm so grateful for them. They really, zero judgment.
That's
took
amazing.
me in.
You cannot find that. That is amazing.
That was incredible. But no, being sober, I mean, and making better choices, you learn that is happiness. That's, you're getting to the next step. And then being sober also, like the time. I always like look back and just astonished at how much time I put into drinking. The planning, the thinking about it, the going to the liquor store, the hours at the bar. If you're at a party, it takes a while to get drunk. Like my brain can't have one drink because I'm like, well, the purpose is to get drunk.
Right.
I don't think it tastes good.
Right.
So I have no purpose to drink it if I'm not going to get drunk. It's just, and then the next day, a hangover, like all day. It's such, all the time wasted. It's kind of a tragedy.
Yeah.
I mean, and now that time I spend with my family. I worked up the chain at work. I've listened to all these personal development books. I've really worked on myself. I wrote a freaking book. Like
Yeah.
if I was drinking that time, I would have spent writing a book, would have been at the bar or in my bed hungover.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely improvement. You're liking the sober life.
1000%.
Yes. Okay. So you credit your husband with helping
Yeah.
you understand unconditional love.
Yeah.
What did that look like in real life? Tell us a little bit about you and your husband's story.
Sure. So we met online, as many people do these days.
Yeah.
And I remember just having really low self-esteem, and I would typically make very poor choices in men and accept being used or treated poorly or ghosted or all these things as just how it was. So to be honest, when I met Dan and he would like text me or send me random gifts, I at first I thought he was a little clingy, but then I learned like, oh, this is just what you do when you care about somebody.
Yeah.
So it took me like getting over that and seeing that he was so genuine. I mean, I look in his eyes and his smile, and he's just honest and genuine, and he loves me. And he supports me, and he believes in me, and that was such a foundation for me to start believing in myself. And we're a partnership now, even like financially or roles in the house. I'm not the only one doing dishes anymore, or
Right.
vacuuming, any other things. The only one working, the only one paying the bills. Now we have a partnership that also frees up time to go for things and makes the risk not feel so big.
Right. Right. So you and Dan have a daughter together. The parenting input, having him present versus previous, you obviously didn't have the father there present all the time.
Right.
That has to be a huge load too.
Yeah, especially now that I'm also old. My sister made jokes when I was pregnant because it was later in life. I mean, Dan was turning 40 when she was born, that I had a geriatric pregnancy. I'm like, thanks a lot. So having that support, as honestly, we are older parents at this time, and just
You
Zero
don't seem
complaints.
old, like, to me.
Thanks.
Because I'm 33 and you're
39.
39. You don't seem, you
Yeah.
seem like you'd be like the same age as me.
Yeah.
So,
But no, yeah, just that partnership. He doesn't complain at all. Like that little girl's got him wrapped around his finger too. Like, he will do anything for her.
yeah. Yeah. Daddy's girl. That's the best way to be.
Yep.
I'm a total daddy's girl.
I was too.
Yeah. It's fun because, like, thinking back, like, a lot of the things you were saying in the story of, like, mannerisms that your dad had, I see that in my dad too. So it was kind of connecting even more to your book that way.
Yeah.
So what parts of your old identity were hardest for you to let go?
That connection that I only made friends, or boys only found me attractive, or I was only interested if I was drunk. I had to get rid of fun Danielle. Drunk Danielle was the key to people liking me, and just learn to know that that's already inside of me.
Right.
So that took a really, really long time, because I deeply connected drinking with being accepted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that took the longest, for
Yeah.
sure.
I can see that. I tell people all the time, I'm boring. I don't do anything. I don't go out. I sit at home and we play card games and board games and
Well, you seem very busy to me. You have a business, a podcast.
I know.
You got the stage coming. You do the food lot.
I
like,
know.
you're not boring.
I know. But I'm saying, like, social life wise,
Yeah.
like, I'm not. I mean,
Well, I was telling you here, it's like coming here at 5:15. It's dark out. I was ready to be in my pajamas. I'm boring.
Yeah, yeah, that's me too, 100%. As soon as I
love
get
my-
home, the
my
bra comes
heating
off,
pad.
and I don't leave the house again.
Yep. I have a heating pad on my back
Yep.
every night.
Yep. We just bought. Oh my. Speaking of, we just bought the coolest little thing. So Ryan has a bunch of neck issues as we're getting older. He's
'Cause we're
discovering
old, yeah.
that. And so I bought this thing that I saw on the TikTok shop. It's like connects to the side of your mattress on your bed, and it's like the donut pillow that, like, you can put your head down. So, like, he can lay on his stomach and I can massage his back with his
can still
face, like,
breathe.
down, like you would have at a chiropractor or
Yeah.
whatever. And so it's like the coolest, because when you try to give back rubs or help, like, smooth out any knots in their back and they have their head turned to the side, it's so much harder.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty cool. And he thinks it's super comfortable. So,
Perfect.
yeah. So you said it was hard to let go of that. Party fun Danielle.
Yep.
When did you start believing in your own worth again and realizing, hey, I can be fun Danielle without the alcohol?
I mean, it's gradual. It takes time, but definitely the, like, unconditional belief of my husband. Every time I tried something new and received positive feedback, or things started going right, even when I pushed myself outside my comfort zone, that started teaching me, like, it's in me. I can do these things. I don't have to be so scared or self-conscious, or I tell people all the time, I'm still trying to overcome, like, imposter syndrome. Like, do I belong here? The girl that was in that jail cell, does she deserve to have a corporate job? Of course you do. It's learning.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's what matters. As long as you show that, hey, I've learned from this, I'm honest with my past.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pretend that it's not what it was.
Yep.
People respect you for that.
Yeah, and not staying in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope one of the biggest keys of writing this book too is I see where I've come and who I was, and I just want to, like, save that little girl.
Yeah.
That was so sad that she wanted to die. That was in that jail cell and didn't see a way out and thought that was it. This is my life. And to see the life I live now because of, you know, the self-help books, affirmations, mental health, personal growth, sobriety, being around the right people, getting in a healthy relationship, like, all these things that I've built. It took time, but you build. And just to look at my life now compared to where it was, I just want people to know that anyone can do it. Like, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And you're worth it.
Yeah. And I think sometimes you have to be in that. You have to hit that rock bottom to be, you wouldn't be who you are today if you wouldn't have went through those.
No, I probably would be
Adversities.
super judgmental.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I didn't have hard times myself and understand, again, like, how I got there, like, understanding my why, learning about mental health, the circumstances, the home life, like all the factors that led to that mindset, I give that girl more grace now instead of judging her for
Yes.
not just being like normal, even though you have all these things you just doesn't matter. You just have to put your face on and be normal.
Yeah.
So getting to the why really helped me understand. It's not an excuse, but it helps me grow from it because I can find where it went wrong and put that together to, oh, that's where this choice would have been better. And you can
Yeah.
put it all together and make it more understandable, relatable, humanize it.
Yes. And I think when we get into our 30s, I think our frontal lobe develops and we see things so much differently. Because I swear something just shifts in your head and you're like, why was I like that? Like,
Yeah.
that's not me. I was just trying to impress everybody else.
Yeah, it wasn't comfortable. It
No.
makes no sense. What's wrong with you?
Right. Yes, it's that shaking. What's wrong with you? So then let's get into, I'm excited about this part, the creativity and the community that you've kind of built. I've been to it and it was a blast. I brought my mom and my
Promise.
sister-in-law. You have started teaching a class in our community. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's called Cake, Canvas, and Coffee. In some of my past work experiences, I was a cake decorator at Target for a long time. I think I worked it, did a different job, went back, so collectively about 8 years. I have the art degree. It's always been a passion of mine. And also through Target, I was cross-trained in Starbucks. I was an assistant manager at Dunkin' Donuts. I freaking love coffee so much.
Yeah.
So that barista side, and I was scrolling through social media one day and I saw like a thread or a video about using a cake slice as a canvas and drinking coffee. And someone that's sober now, it was a fun twist on those paint and sips,
Yeah.
but without like the alcohol.
Right.
I mean, and I'd also wanted to try something new and push myself for growth and like lead something. And it's coming in a time where I work from home now. It's the first time I've ever worked from home and really kind of missing some interaction
Yeah,
with
yeah,
other
yeah.
adults. So, and getting out into this community too. I mean, I moved to Winnebago in 2019, but 2020, obviously everyone's
Yeah.
quarantined. And I felt like I never really built a community or made a lot of friends. I was kind of quiet and just kind of stayed inside. And
Right.
I think this has been really, really special
Yes.
to get to meet people. It's being well received and it makes me really excited.
Yes.
And I'm just excited to keep them going. And
Yes, it is so fun. So like I said, I brought my mom and my brother's girlfriend with, and
who worked at Target?
funny story. I was gonna say that was such a fun connection that we figured out that Danielle and my brother's girlfriend Aubrey worked together at Target, at the same Target.
In Rochester.
Like, what are the odds?
I know.
Crazy.
Like, see, I decorated cakes, remember?
Yeah. But so we went to just one of your general classes. It was right before Christmas time, so we did do a little of a Christmas twist. I did a little Santa Claus on mine, and my mom did a Christmas tree on hers. I'm trying to think what Aubrey did. I can't think. But it was so fun. Like, everything was just there. You didn't have to stress out about it. The coffee was good. You get that locally from Cabin
Cabin,
Coffee,
yep.
so that's supporting another local family.
Yep.
I just love it. I love it, what you're doing with it.
So I brought in like brewed coffee from Cabin. I also have their espresso beans, and I have a espresso machine that I bring to the 10 Talents Art Center, and flavored syrups. And I will make you a latte.
Yeah,
like
it was
I'm
good.
a coffee latte snob. That's the kinds I like. So that's
Yeah. I got
when was going to
two.
a coffee class. That's where
Yeah, I think I had a white chocolate and then a zebra one, and they were very good. And it's just fun. You just talk, and like there were other people there that I normally wouldn't run into in the community that we got to chatting, and
Yeah.
it's a good energy. It's good, and I like that it's not. I feel like you could bring your dad, you could bring your grandpa, you could bring your mom, you could bring your friend. It's not something where I feel like the paint and sips are more like you go out with your girlfriends kind of thing. You can bring anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
Anybody
Cake
likes
for
coffee.
everyone.
Yeah.
I had someone ask about bringing a child, and I'm like, I have hot cocoa for coffee substitute, and cake is for everyone. So
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go into the themes a little bit.
Okay.
Because I just registered for the dirt cake one
Oh, nice.
yesterday. For
This
me,
is news to me. That's exciting.
for me and both of my girls. So I
Nice.
got I ordered 3, and that one's in March, I think. So they love dirt cake with the gummy worms and all the whole
Yep.
thing.
Yep. And I'm
so.
gonna actually do chocolate cake that time instead of my white cake like I've been doing, just to do something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually those ideas came from feedback. So at my classes, I've been handing out surveys because I want the feedback. I want to make it better. I want to grow it. I want everyone to have fun. Like that's something important to me, is to, if you put all this effort into something, you want people to enjoy it. And
Yes.
I only know what I know. So searching out in that survey, theme classes did come up. It's like a little more guidance or an idea instead of it being like an open session. And I was like, all right, we could probably spread that out. And then families too.
Yeah.
A Princess Day, the dirt
Yeah.
cake. I want people to know it's not just for, your girlfriends, or it's forever for
Yeah.
anyone.
Yeah.
Like you said, anyone can go.
Yeah.
I know around Valentine's Day, I have a day date.
I saw that one.
Yeah, come and decorate a cake with your
You could
boyfriend, girlfriend,
do-
husband.
I have so many ideas. You could have you seen the TikTok challenge where you paint your spouse and you don't show them until the end, and then you show each other your painting of each other?
I think so.
You could do that with cake. So you could like draw their picture on the cake. Oh my God.
Nailed it. Is
Yes.
it cake?
Yes. Yeah, we did. We talked about the Is It Cake.
Yep.
That would be super fun too. My girls would love that because they love that show. And we talked about 10 Talents. That's the location. That's supporting another local business, which I love.
And Jenna was amazing. When I was coming to her with this idea, she really helped me go for it. Like I said, I was really nervous, the imposter syndrome. I'm like, can I do this? Will people come?
Right.
Do I have enough community members that I know that would come to something like this? I really had a lot of doubt, but then I told Jenna, I'm like, I'm in my, reading my You Are Badass and let them, and just really trying to push myself. And I'm like, let's do it. If I don't do it now, I know I won't.
Yep.
I'm going to regret it. If I have a deadline and I sign up for something, I'm putting myself accountable, and I'm just going to go for it. And I'm so glad I did.
Yes. Yes. And that's like seems to be the reoccurring message in my episodes is just that going for it.
Yeah.
We took the leap getting this business, and we didn't know if it was, we knew we had a pretty good customer base from his previous employer, but it's still a huge risk.
Yeah.
And not only financial risk, but mental. You're worried about, is anybody going to show up? Am I going to be embarrassed when I throw this out there and nobody takes the bait? I totally get what you're saying. But I'm glad that you went for it because it's a super fun class.
I'm glad I did too. I initially started with, about 2 months worth of classes. I'm like, let's just see how this goes. And through those surveys, and I've been tracking them in my Excel, and I'm getting good feedback and trying to, I did the pricing came up a few times too, and feedback for group rates and the family rate. So I do have
Yeah.
options now. Me and Jenna worked that out for different pricings for groups, and then the themes. And it's just been a lot of fun. Cake,
Yeah.
sprinkles.
Right. And you have everything there. It's all in the piping bags. She has all different variety of sprinkles that you could ever need. And she's got everything set up so cute too. Your little table with all your little cute coffee stuff.
My
and
selfie wall that I
yes,
painted.
she's got a cute selfie wall. Yes. I just love all of it.
It was a lot of fun. It's
And it's
have
fun
that art
because
degree.
Steve was at mine. And so he is such a character. God. And so he was coming around and inspecting everybody's as we were finishing up. And I drew Santa, and I had him with just his beard, his big fluffy white beard, and I didn't really have a mouth hole or anything for him. And so Steve comes around and says, well, it kind of looks like Santa's bound up or something, or hog-tied. He's like, where's his mouth? So I added a little mouth, and sure enough, it looked way better. So
I was like, thanks, I guess.
yeah. So just that collaboration of the other people that are there is that part of it's fun too.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I have an ideas book too, and if people have ideas, I try and help them bring it to life. I teach them a few techniques up front, like holding a piping bag.
Right.
It's like holding a pencil a little bit, and what different tips do. Like your star tip will make like a shell border or a star, or you can like loop it up and make like a tree.
Right.
Like a 3 tip is a round one. It's kind of like a pencil. You can draw your lines. You can do happy birthday in cursive, whatever. Leaf tip. It's just
Yeah.
really fun, all the things you can do.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these times I'll teach people how to make roses. I
Yeah,
just haven't gotten
that'd
that
be
far.
fun.
I have the rose needles and everything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We should coordinate. That'd be something that our homeschool cooperative our kids would like to do. Maybe
right.
that's something we could put on the spring schedule.
Yeah, if we get a date out in advance, I can probably put a PTO for a weekday. Otherwise, it's a weekend.
Yeah. 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 We'll have
No,
to.
that'd be fun.
We'll have to figure
We could do
something out. That'd be
cupcakes,
fun.
too,
And
if-
that would be educational too, because they'd be learning about cake decorating.
I think the library too. Jenna sent me something where they're gonna do like a book scene edible contest. So if you want to do cake or chocolate that is inspired by a book, they're gonna have like an art contest, but like an edible book art contest.
Huh. Interesting.
So that might be something too. Or
Yeah.
if you guys are working on the same lesson, maybe we do a cake decorating theme based on that lesson. If it's the sun or just
Right.
throwing things out there,
Right,
but we could all
right.
make a planetarium or
Yeah.
have cupcakes and you do all the planets. Or
That's a good
something.
idea. I like that. I like that. How does your professional work in people and culture tie into your passion for personal development?
So my people and culture role, my favorite piece of it is getting to develop lessons in leadership, learning about emotional intelligence and your impact as a leader and how your energy like affects other people and all these things that are really closely tied into personal growth. Actually, when I was
Have you ever
getting
listened to
into it-
Brene Brown?
Yes.
Okay,
I
'cause
listen
you're-
to her all the time. She taught me the word confabulations, and it is my favorite, and paradox, and they were epiphanies for me. I actually just taught today an SME class about assumptions, and confabulations came in there, and how Brene Brown says, like, the brain does not like open-ended problems. So if there's a why that needs to be answered, your brain is going to fill it in whether it's true or not. That confabulation can be a lie, but your brain still gets your dopamine hit because stories make sense all of a sudden. Like, how am I going to deal with this? It needs to make sense. I can't just have a because.
Yeah.
Which actually now, like, literally, this is epiphany right now. That's why my kids are always like, why? They're literally, it's biology. Their brain can't handle because I said so. That's not good enough.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Brene Brown has taught me so much about emotional.
And shame.
Yes. Yes. And she just words it in a way that it just makes sense. I can't explain it,
Yeah.
but
No.
I like listening to her. I've learned a lot from her.
Me too. Yeah, the Dare to Lead. I'm doing her workbook on my own, just for my own personal development. I learned a lot from her. Paradox again, like being in this corporate role, and coming from the lab. I don't know, but coming from like the lab level, the associate level, and the corporate role, like when I was in the lab, I'm like, well, why can't we do this or that? Like, it's such so easy. And now I'm here and I see the bigger picture. And both viewpoints are correct, but they seem conflicting. And that's what a paradox is. And knowing that there's a word for it makes it feel less impossible
Right,
sometimes. You know,
right.
it's like, well, that's valid, that's correct, but they're seem to be opposite. So how do we come together? And
Right.
that's what a paradox is. And I heard that. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more specifically about your book.
Okay.
It's titled River Shark.
Yes.
So what does that metaphor mean to you? Let's go into that a little bit because I love this.
Makes me so happy and like nostalgic. So River Shark is the brainchild of my dad. When I was super, super little, I don't even remember this house. My parents were still married, but I know that's where the story was like born. We had a river in our backyard. And so to keep me and my toddler sister from getting too curious about
Yep.
that river, my dad told us there were river sharks in there. And, you know, if we were down there with him and he'd be like, oh, look over there, you know, and then throw a rock the other way and it splashed. We'd be like, oh, the river sharks are jumping. Did you see that? We're like, yeah. And he had a way of telling stories. Like, he didn't break his character. Like, straight face.
Serious,
You did not know if he was joking or not. He did it so well. His delivery was impeccable. So I believed that there were sharks in the river in my backyard in Wisconsin until I was like 11 years old. Like, even when we moved away and away from that house with the river, like, we'd go to the park or fishing. He just kept it up. He was having a blast with that story. And I believed in river sharks much longer than I probably should have. But
So
it's
have you
makes me
carried
so
on
happy.
that with your daughter? That's my question.
I should. I haven't yet. But no,
Because that would be a fun thing to carry on.
yeah.
I love
even
it.
have my river shark tattoo.
Yes.
So I wanted to look like watercolor because they
Yes.
live in the water, and that's my river shark.
I love it.
Yep. And then when I was writing the book, like, starting with that protective, vulnerable, nostalgic, happy story, and then kind of relating that shark, like, what does a shark stand for? And by the end, it's adaptable. Sharks survive. Sharks are strong. They move through life and just keep going.
Right.
So I really felt that connection with that story that made me so happy to actually, like, being that survivor, the one that went through all these things and tough like a shark. Like, I just felt it was full circle, and
Yes.
I wanted to name my book that. I felt like it really kind of encompassed the whole story.
Yes. I love it so much. But as you know, I love all the like tie-in, the little cutesy tie-ins, the rhino thing. I go way overboard with the rhino thing. So I love that you're using this
It's
river
a
shark.
signature too, yeah.
Yeah. So you told me the number of books you've sold, which is super exciting. Okay, so here's my question.
Sure.
What was your expectation or your goal?
Honestly, my goal was to eventually break even from paying a publisher, but I'd say ultimately my goal going into it and just being authentic about it was helping someone. And my goal was it was super therapeutic for myself and
Yeah.
healing.
And you can feel that. Just even in the part that I've read, you can feel that it's therapeutic and you're
Yep.
working through it as you're writing the story.
And now that it's come out too, I mean, I'm reconnecting with my family that didn't realize all of the things I went through. On my mom's side, especially, we're reconnecting. And those were really my goals. When I was thinking about all the things I've been through and where I was now, I knew I wanted to write a book someday. It was something I had thought about. I'm like, I really feel like I could help at least somebody, like at least little Danielle, like old me.
Right.
And then I was in a virtual conference for work, and Mel Robbins was the keynote speaker.
Wow.
I was so excited.
That is super cool.
Yeah. And the quote that stuck with me that day that I started writing it was, "You are best equipped to help the person you used to be." Wow. And so I heard that, and I said, I'm starting my book today.
Yeah.
And so ultimately my goal is, to break even, but at the very end, outside of money, it is to help
Yeah.
somebody.
But did you have a specific number in mind, like of how many books you thought you would sell in the first couple weeks, or how much you
I
expected?
thought I'd sell my family members all said they were going to buy one, so I'm like 25 in maybe first couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you're sitting at
70.
70 book sales. That is amazing.
It's really exciting, and I'm booking
Yes.
library events.
Yes.
I've got one coming up at the Muir Library in Winnebago on February 6th, and then February 26th. Double check me, it's on my Facebook.
Okay. I'll throw it up on the thing.
Yep, the Blue Earth Community Library. I'm going to do a book launch there as well. And then I'm really excited to have booked one way out in May, but in my hometown of Beloit,
Yes. That's going to be good
where
for
it
you.
all started. And
That in and of itself will be therapeutic for you, I think.
Yeah, I'm feeling emotional just thinking about my family being there, where the whole story started, River Shark, my dad, like his gravesite there. I'm going to visit that. It feels big.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
You'll
feels
have to
bigger
bring a
than me.
book and put on by his gravestone.
Oh,
That would be really
yep.
special.
I have to do that now.
Yes. Yes. So was it obviously was hard to put this painful personal experience on paper and put it out there. We've kind of talked about that shame and being afraid of what people are going to think of us, especially in our community, in our area where, you know, some of these topics are more taboo and people don't like to talk about them.
Yeah. Drinking, drugs, and
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you hope people feel when they read your story? What do you hope little Danielle, if she read this, what would you hope that she would be thinking and feeling?
I would hope people would feel compassion, empathy, and understanding for what people go through, how people feel, how bad choices don't doom you for life.
Right.
You can turn it around.
Right.
I hope people feel inspired to keep going and growing and trying new things and stepping out of their comfort zone.
Yes.
And I think that is what really drives me to come to the podcast, to do the book events, to write it in the first place, is just to really have an understanding and non-judgment and just know that there's whys and there's learning from it too. Like I said, there's reflection parts where I go into, you know, if I would have known what I know now, what are some of the things I could have changed, or what are some of the advice I would have given the adults in my life
Right.
at the time? Maybe if my mom had gone to therapy, things could have been different. Maybe if, you know, all these things could have been different, or the takeaways, you know, at your dad's funeral, your grandma shouldn't be yelling at your mom. That's not going to help.
Right.
So reliving some of those things as the child, the things that stick out, hopefully maybe even as an adult, if your child lost a parent, anything like that, you're going through something similar, you can take some things away from that child's perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. This part's going to get emotional.
Yep. I almost cried once or twice, but so far we're good.
So if you could talk to 12-year-old Danielle right now, after your dad had passed away,
Yeah.
what would you tell her?
I would tell that little girl that everything that is about to happen is not your fault. I would tell her to really get rooted in who you are. Go through the self-help books, really cling to who you are, build your confidence, know that you're worth it. I would just want to tell her that, you know, she can get through anything. And like I said, adults are people too. They don't have all the answers.
Right.
They're trying to figure it out. A lot of us are going through things for the first time too, and don't always make the best choices. And to try and understand that no one's going to be perfect either, and make
Right.
all the right choices, but still love yourself,
Yeah.
because that's what's going to stick to you. The relationship you have with yourself is the one for life. No one else ever is going to be that relationship. You have to love yourself.
Yes.
Otherwise,
That has to come first.
yep.
Yeah. Yes. What do you hope that people take out of this and understand about addiction, self-sabotage, or healing? Maybe they have a family member that's an addict.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope that them reading your story, what do you hope they get out of that?
As far as addiction goes, I hope people understand how hard it is, how that voice of addiction is truly tricky. It is manipulative. It really can twist your mind into making those excuses or finding a way or killing your self-confidence. When I was an outpatient, my counselor called the voice of addiction a tricky bitch. Mm-hmm. And it was just such an accurate description of it. Like, take your insecurity and twist it and make it, you know, just, it can talk you into anything. It's really amazing.
Well, and it can seep through the cracks and it can
Yep.
find the loopholes, like you said.
Yep.
And if you get away with something one time, well, hey, now I can do it again.
I know one of the things I heard in counseling too, like one of the worst things for an addict is if you attempt something again and you get away with it. It's
Validation
just like
that,
starting
hey,
over.
I can keep doing this.
Yep, exactly. And so I'd really want people to understand, like, addiction turns you into someone that you're not. It changes that mindset. You are not yourself. Your brain is finding excuses. It's finding a way. It is only listening to this tricky bitch. And what I want people to know and hopefully take away about healing is how badass that is, how much work that is, how powerful that is, how hard that is to accomplish, and how it's never done.
Right.
You're constantly growing, but healing is truly just a really powerful thing that I admire anyone that has been able to overcome any form of addiction. It doesn't have to just be drinking and drugs. We know people struggle with shopping or
Eating. Yep.
I mean, I still struggle with that, but I mean, it's one thing at a time. But just think of the last time, like, you wanted to shop on Amazon and you're like, no, and then you do it. Like, that's this little tricky bitch, and she's just louder for some people.
Yeah.
But healing is so badass.
Yes, it is. And you have to heal. I feel like most of the badasses that I know in my life have been through hard times and have had to heal. That's what it seasons you.
Yeah. I like it.
So, Danielle, your book is available now. Can you tell everybody where they can find it?
Yeah, so right now it is available on Amazon. It is ebook, paperback, or hardcover. You just type in Danielle Hayter Johnson. That's super unique name.
Yeah.
And it'll pop right up. And then I am still working with the publisher to get other platforms. It should be next week or the one after. I will keep people posted, but barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, Apple Books, Google Books, Lulu, Chapters Indigo, and Smash Books. Those came with my package that I got through my publisher.
Okay.
So those
Will
should
it be at the local library too? Will there be a copy there eventually?
I'm not sure if they have it right now, but at my event, I plan on donating at least a copy there. So I have to get details there, but yes.
Yeah.
But for right now, definitely Amazon.
Yeah, that's where I got mine from, Amazon.
That's where I got mine from too. The pricing was better than with the publisher
It's
there,
really
so.
like cool. It feels like I'm like friends with a celebrity or something because you're like a book author.
And as I'm booking things, I'm feeling like, wow, like this is real life. I have a book on Amazon, and another thing that really helps is, writing a review. If you finish it and you like it, and writing a review on there. I've gotten some really good ones that make me so proud
Yes.
of putting it out there. It makes it the risk and of putting your whole life out there in such a vulnerable way, like, really worth it. I had someone say, like, this would be really good for a teen that's struggling to read, and that was the why. And so I read that review. It is an anonymous one, and I wanted to cry. I'm like, that is exactly what I was going for.
Yes.
And for it to be received the way it's been being received is really remarkable, and it makes me so proud.
Yes. You should be very proud. You should be
you.
very proud. I'm going to have you sign my copy.
Okay.
So you're looking forward to meeting some people at these library events. I would encourage everyone to attend, meet Danielle. She's super cool, obviously. And
A super cool, boring person that
Yes.
likes to be in pajamas by 6 p.m.
yeah, that's okay. We are joined.
balance.
Yes. We
It's
can
all
relate on that. So tell us then a little bit about your cake, canvas, and coffee classes. How can we find information on that?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook group. I also have created Facebook events for each one, but you would register on the 10 Talents artcenter.com website. And like I said, the group rates are there now, so you just go in, book the date you want. We have themed ones coming up. We have open sessions coming up, and so you can
Yeah.
come hang out and find those events there.
Yeah.
I'm also fresh news as of like last night, a website coming out, and I plan on linking Kate's classes, ebook events, links to
Kind of everything all in one spot.
the Amazon. I feel like things have been happening quickly, which I'm so excited and grateful for, and to have a home for it. So I have a website coming very soon. I got the domain last night, and I'm working with Nicolette,
Yeah.
and we're gonna build
Another
that out.
local. See,
Yep.
I just love this.
We're all just working together. So
Yes.
Jenna, Nicolette,
Yes. I love it so much.
yep, Jasmine at Cabin, Morgan on the podcast. I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
Yes, yeah. Okay, well, again, I want to thank you, Danielle, for coming on the podcast. This has been really great. I feel like I've gotten to know you on another level. I'm really looking forward to my cake, canvas, and coffee class now in March.
Yes.
We'll definitely be having some other festivities going on, non-alcoholic festivities.
Yes.
So much fun.
Yep. Well, and I want to say too, like, thank you for this opportunity too. We're both trying to grow something.
Yeah.
Supporting one another, putting ourselves out there, trying something new, learning as we go.
Yes.
And I really appreciate being invited and chatting with you. You made me feel really comfortable. I was nervous.
Yeah.
We talked about
I always
that.
tell people
Yeah.
it's not going to be as bad as you think.
Yep. I really had a great time. So thank you.
And I think it's therapeutic too, to talk
Yeah.
through it all.
Yeah, and just, you're very understanding, and like talking about some of this stuff that's shameful or whatever. You just
No judgment from me, girl.
we're just going with it. We're talking about it. It's honest, and
Yeah.
it's important. So
I think being a teen mom kind of helped me with that because
my sister was a teen mom.
I felt that judgment, so I know how that shame and all that
Yep.
feels. But
Yep.
yeah, I'm glad you came.
Thank you. I'm glad I came too.
Okay.
Bye.